The Galactic Council had made a fatal miscalculation. For 300 cycles they had dismissed humanity as a curiosity, soft, emotional creatures who valued poetry over power and negotiation over annihilation. They had never encountered a species that smiled while being insulted, that offered second chances to those who deserved none. Mia stood at the observation deck of the UHN's Reckoning, her reflection ghostly against the viewport that showed 17 Krathian warships burning in the void. Her fingers trembled as she clutched the data pad, containing the names all 40,000 colonists from New Haven Station. Gone. Vaporized when the Krathian Empire had decided humanity's mining rights weren't worth respecting. Captain Chen reports the Krathian flagship is attempting to surrender, Leo said quietly behind her, his tactical officer's uniform still pristine despite the chaos of the last 6 hours. Mia didn't turn around. Tell Captain Chen that humanity stopped accepting surrenders exactly 40,000 deaths ago. Leo hesitated. In the 2 years they'd served together, he'd never heard that tone in her voice. Cold, surgical, devoid of the warmth that made Admiral Mia Torres legendary among the fleet. The woman who had negotiated 17 peaceful settlements. The woman who had personally delivered aid to former enemies. That woman had died with New Haven. Admiral, the Council is broadcasting on all channels. They're demanding we cease fire. They're calling this a war crime. Now Mia did turn and Leo took an involuntary step backward. Her eyes held something he'd only read about in history texts, in the chapters humanity tried to forget. The look his ancestors must have worn when they decided entire cities needed to burn. A war crime, she repeated softly. Tell me, Leo, what do you call it when the Galactic Council receives 17 formal complaints about Krathian aggression, 17 pleas for intervention, and responds with 17 committee meetings that produce nothing but paperwork? She walked past him toward the command console, each step measured, purposeful. What do you call it when a species files for protected status under Treaty 447 and the Council takes 3 years to review the application, while that species gets hunted for sport? Leo had no answer. He'd read those reports too. Had watched Mia spend countless hours in diplomatic channels, her patience endless, her faith in the system unshakable. They thought we were weak, Mia continued, her fingers dancing across the tactical display. Every species in this galaxy measures strength by how quickly you escalate to violence. The Krathians pride themselves on their brutality. The Vexnor worship their war gods. The Centaurians write poems about their conquests. She pulled up a star map highlighting 53 systems in red. But humans? We were the strange ones. We talked, we compromised. We absorbed insults and attacks and treaty violations with nothing but stern diplomatic notes. Her laugh was bitter. The Council actually published studies about us. Did you know that? The paradox of human restraint. They theorized we were biologically incapable of sustained warfare. Admiral, they forgot to ask why we developed that restraint in the first place. Mia's voice dropped to barely a whisper. They never wondered what we were restraining. The communications array lit up with thousands of incoming messages, pleas, threats, demands from every member species of the Galactic Council. Mia ignored them all. Activate Protocol Ember, she said. Leo's face went pale. Admiral, that's every military asset humanity has. Every ship, every weapon platform, I know what it is, Commander. We'll be at war with half the galaxy. We've been at war, Leo. We just weren't fighting back. She turned to face him fully, and he saw tears tracking down her cheeks even as her jaw remained set in iron determination. Those colonists on New Haven? They were teachers, engineers, artists, people who left Earth to build something beautiful in the stars. They had children, Leo. There was a school there. A park with trees brought from Earth, trees they watered by hand because they wanted their kids to climb the same oaks their grandparents had. Her voice cracked, but she didn't stop. The Krathians destroyed it all in 47 seconds. Then they laughed about it on open channels. They said humans would file a complaint and hold a candlelight vigil. Leo's own hands were shaking now. He thought of his sister, who'd been applying to transfer to New Haven. She'd missed the posting by 2 weeks. 2 weeks between life and scattered atoms. They were right about the vigils, Mia said softly. Earth's holding the largest in human history right now. 3 billion people standing in silence, holding lights for the dead. She wiped her eyes. But they were wrong about what comes after. They don't understand that humans don't cry instead of fighting. We cry and then we fight. And when we stop crying, she didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. The command console chimed. Captain Chen's face appeared grim and resolute. All fleet elements responding, Admiral. We're reading similar reports from every human installation in known space. The civilian government has issued the declaration. We are weapons-free. Execute Protocol Ember, Mia commanded. And Chen? Send one final message to the Galactic Council. Yes, Admiral. Tell them humanity tried patience. We tried diplomacy. We tried peace. Her eyes hardened to diamond. Tell them that for 300 years we held back not because we couldn't fight, but because we remembered what we were capable of. We remembered our own bloody history and we swore never to repeat it. She took a breath that seemed to carry the weight of worlds. But tell them that when they forced us to choose between our principles and our survival, between our restraint and our children's lives, they left us no choice at all. Tell them that humans don't want to be the monsters in the dark. But when the monsters come for us, the tactical display erupted with activity, humanity's fleets moving as one coordinated instrument of precision violence. 3 centuries of restrained fury unleashed in a single terrible moment. We become something worse. Leo watched the display, watched human ships appear in system after system where injustice had festered, where the Council had looked away, where the strong had preyed upon the weak. And he understood with terrible clarity why the other species had never developed humanity's patience. They had never needed to learn how to contain an inferno. Mia's last words were barely audible over the tactical alerts. The universe will remember this day, not because of what we did, but because of how long they made us wait before we did it. In the void beyond the viewport, 17 Krathian warships had become 17 funeral pyres, but across the galaxy thousands more fires were being lit, and humanity at last had stopped apologizing for the flames. The Galactic Council would later record this as the 72-hour war. Historians would debate for generations whether humanity's response was justice or revenge. But every species in known space learned the same lesson. Patience is not weakness, and a species that can wait 300 years can also remember for 3,000. They never made that mistake again.